Okay, everyone, very good. This is Danny here. I want to just pop right into my Google account. This is a dummy test account, and I want to show you a couple things on how you can set up your Google banner ads. Specifically, we're going to cover the in-market audience. We're also going to do it based on keywords, and then we're also going to do it based on placements. And placements is where we can target which websites that your ads appear on. Keywords is based on the actual keywords that we're giving it, which makes sense. And then the in market, that's Google's determination of who they think are in the market to be buying a home, selling a home. No, not selling a home. So buying a home or moving soon, plus looking at residential properties. So the first one we're going to do is if you're brand new to Google, you're going to Google search Google Ads and log in with the username and password that you use for your Gmail or your YouTube, or if you don't have that, you're going to end up creating an account. Once you have an account, you should see a button that has a plus button. Now, they might have a welcome portion where it takes people through. Somewhere on that screen, you'll see a button that says, I'm an experienced user or I'm an experienced advertiser. You do not want to go through their walkthrough program. So if you can't find the button that says, I'm an experienced advertiser or a marketer or whatever, there's going to be a help button up here, and give them a chat. You might have just a chat feature. So whatever your communication is up here in the top right, chat with them and ask them to take you off of Google Ads Express, because that's a good chance what you're on, and you do not want to be on that. So saying if you did do that and now you are looking at a screen, it'll be blank. When you log into your Google Ads account, you shouldn't probably have any campaigns. If you click on the campaign tab, there would be no campaigns here. So the very first step, this is step one so that we're all on the same page, is you'll want to create a brand new campaign. So you're going to click on campaigns and then click on the plus button. We're going to create a brand new campaign from scratch. Now, these types of banner ads that we're creating, um, they're not really a lead or traffic. It's more of a branding play, but the in-market one is a branding play that is very strategic, that does get you traffic as well. So we're going to do the in-market one first, just to cover that. I'm going to do it as a brand awareness. You can do brand awareness or product brand consideration, but we'll just do brand awareness. And you're going to want to choose the display network. And then you type in your website. So I'm going to do dan.com, which is not my website, but anyways. So you're going to type out whatever your website is down here. Now, let's say you are going to do a banner ad. What's the call to action? Think of that. And then when the people click on it, obviously you're going to take them to the page that speaks to whatever your call to action is. So if I was a real estate agent and I was advertising property for sale in a specific area, I wouldn't just take them to danwood.com. I would take them to danwood.com/listings or Oshawa listings, right? So you're not going to just, on this first step, don't just put your website. Put the landing page of where you're going to be driving them to. And I have no idea what your call to action is going to be. I'm going to assume it's just going to be about generic real estate because this is the type of ad that we're running. And so my suggestion to most of you is to just drive the people to the page on your website that has all of the listings and or the map that allows people to search real estate, because that's really all they care about. So that's what you do. You type out your website there and hit continue. Okay, so the campaign name, um, because there's three different ways of you doing the banner ads. There's more than three, but there's the three I want to cover you with you, is the in-market, the keywords, and the placement. I would actually name that as the campaign name. So I would say the first one would be, I'll do Toronto. Toronto in market. Okay, so I'm going to name it as that. And then obviously because I'm targeting Toronto, it's going to default to all countries and all territories, which is ridiculous. And so you're going to want to change this to whatever city you work. I'm going to type in Toronto and hit target. And I can see numbers over on the right here. It's got just in Toronto alone, on a monthly basis, there's 1.5 billion impressions per month. Okay, we're going to keep an eye on those numbers because I want to bring those down drastically because I'm going to get way more refined on who sees these impressions that we target them. Now, say you don't want to do all of Toronto, you just want to do certain parts of your city. You can click on the advanced search and you can actually type in the postal code or the zip code of the area. You can even drop a pin. So if I do radius and then I type in the address, for example, I'll just do 119. Let's say I also do Hamilton. I could do a radius around that and I can change the length from miles to kilometers because kilometers are shorter, and I'll do 1 kilometer, and that's going to narrow down to just that pocket. So you can do it based on that. You can drop a pin. There's all different ways that you can do the targeting, and you can exclude people as well. So let me do pin mode, and I'm going to drop a pin here. I'm going to target that. Then I'm going to edit it. So you can drop pins as well if you didn't know the address. So you can just click the little pin mode, drop a pin, and capture different parts of town. So I am going to remove those. And we're just going to focus on the Toronto. Oop. Yeah, we're just going to focus on Toronto for now. Okay. So moving on down, languages, it just leave it as English unless you speak other languages, and you can remove English and target the language that you're going after, which is a really strategic idea. Say I was an Italian agent and I wrote my ads up in Italian and I targeted only people who are Italian. I mean, man, that would be so smart for some people if they have the benefit of speaking multiple languages to be able to do that. Unfortunately, I only speak English, so I'm just going to leave it as English. Okay, the bidding is going to be based on, you can change it to conversions, but that's too technical for most of you. And for the amount of advertising dollars that you're going to be spending, just leave it as viewable impressions. The budget is what you put at a daily rate. So I'd say $5 a day is about 150 a month, depending on how many days there are in that month. And so we're going to go with the $5 a day budget on this. Leave it as standard, not accelerated. Standard is just going to spread it out throughout the day, whereas accelerated is going to blow the budget as soon as it can right away. So I'd rather have my ads be consistent across the board. You can do ad rotation. Just leave that as optimized. If you have multiple different images, they're going to pick and choose what images to show when and why. And then over time, they'll know which ones are performing better. So just leave that one as is. You can have your ads running on a schedule as well. So if you only want them running between certain hours of the day, which could also make sense for a lot of people, I want to leave mine open, but you can change it so that it's only running between like 9 to 5 on the weekdays that you're working. So that's pretty good that you can do that. Set end date. So if you just want your ads to automatically turn off, then you would select an end date. I don't do that. I just let my ads run. The challenge with this and concern that you should know is that they'll just run forever and you're not going to get a refund. So you can't be like, oh, I meant to turn that off, Google. Can I have my bazillions of dollars back? And they're going to say no. So I leave mine with no end date and they just run forever. But if the ads aren't working, I'll turn them off, right? However, if you're not techie and you're not going to log in here ever again after you set them up, then maybe you do want to set an end date. Frequency capping is you can set the limit of how many times that a person will see it in a given period of time. Like you don't want to show the same ad to the same person 10 times a day, they might get angry with you. So you can set a limit. The good thing with the ads that we're creating right now is that we're not doing it on social media and we're not doing it on um, over top of videos on YouTube. So it's not that annoying. It's just advertising where advertising belongs across the rest of the internet. So I want to let Google optimize it and not worry about that. You can have different ad groups. It doesn't matter. You can just leave this as ad group 1, or you can rename it whatever you named it at the top for the campaign. So this was Toronto in Market. So my ad group, I could rename it to Toronto in Market. It really doesn't matter. I'm just going to, actually, you know what? Just to keep it simpler for you, I will copy whatever the campaign name is, and then go down the ad group name it the same thing. Okay, so this is where we can get pretty creative. I'm going to click on the Browse button under Audiences, and we're going to see this couple options here. Who are they? We can target people based on their demographics, which is probably a better idea for you to do demographic marketing on Facebook because they know more about the demographics. What are people interested in? Their habits and interests, all right? And then in market, life events and custom intent. This is like the real power right here. So I'm going to click on this one. And it gives you 3 drop downs. The middle one says in market audience. I want to click on that. And now Google knows who's in the market for, if I just click on apparel and accessories to see what's under here, backpacks, for example. So if I was a marketer advertising to backpack companies, I could just use this one funnel and help get them a ton of traffic. Okay, so there's that, but there's a real estate section. So let me go down, scroll down. Okay, I'm going to check off real estate. Now see, when I checked off real estate on the top right, it went from 1.5 billion or something like that down to 160 million. So that's good. So instead of me wasting all my money targeting kids watching cartoons and people reading fake news and whatever they're up to, I can just target people that are interested and probably going to be making a move within the real estate space. So that's great, 160 million. However, if I check off this little radio button beside real estate, I can see, oh, under real estate, it's also targeting commercial properties. Well, I don't do commercial properties, so I should not check off the real estate section, because if I do, it's going to capture everything that's within the subsection of it. So I'm going to uncheck that. And then it would make more sense for me as a residential agent to click off residential property. So we're going to do that. And it goes from 1.5 billion to 89 million, which is great. All right, that's really cool. However, there's still another drop down. So let's go a little deeper and see, oh, rent. Well, are you a real estate agent that helps with rentals? If you are, great, check that off. And if you aren't, then you probably shouldn't have residential properties checked on. What you should do is have residential properties for sale checked on. So now let's see what the number is, 47 million people. All right, that's cool. Now there's a couple other options. If we uncheck residential properties for sale, so this one would be, I would just have this one checked off and I would run an ad with a banner that says, search Toronto properties for sale. Boom. I already know these people are interested in residential properties. I'm only targeting people in Toronto. And when they click on my ad, I want to take them to my listing page with all the listings. Now I'm going to show you another filter. I'm going to remove the real estate one and then scroll all the way to the bottom. It says life events. If I check off life events, purchasing a home. All right, that's awesome. I'm going to open up that button to see what are the options. There's recently purchased a home. Well, you don't want that. So say you check off the purchasing a home. Well, that's great, except for you're going to be advertising to a bunch of people that have already bought one. So you don't want to check off purchasing a home. What you want to do is open up the radial and then choose purchasing a home soon. So if I just click that off, 14 million impressions per month. Boom. I mean, if I was to do any, I would do that one and then under moving soon. 50 million. I don't know, man. The moving one seems kind of sketchy. What does that mean? I'd rather, if they know a person is purchasing a home soon, to me, that seems like way more targeted. That this is what I would do is just the one. I would only have purchasing a home soon, and that's the targeting that we would do. Some of you have a fear of missing out and you want to capture more stuff. And if you do, then okay, if you have a bigger budget, then I would say, okay, I would also go for um, moving soon and then go back up to the real estate and do for sale. So I would have these three categories right here. If you were super big agent, had a ton of money, and had a fear of missing out. But at 97 million impressions, like, man, I don't know any agent that can afford to cover all of that. So most agents are going to want to play it safe. And I would say if that's the case, then just do purchasing a home soon. Like I have no idea how Google, well, I have a little bit of an idea. Google, what they're doing is they're checking you as a person based on what you're searching on Google, what you're watching on YouTube, the websites you're going to. So if you're looking at listings and if you're reading about closing costs and you're doing all these things within your email back and forth. They are actually reading your emails and creating ads based on your emails. So it's a combination of those plus hundreds or even thousands of other data points on top of me saying these people also have to be in Toronto. All right. So there, I do have some sort of an idea of how they know who's moving, but I really don't. I mean, I don't know how they know who's moving, except for it's a guess, and it's a pretty educated guess. So I'm going to, for me as a cheap person, I'm going to remove moving soon, and I'm going to remove the residential properties for sale. And I'm just going to focus on the 14 million. Since I probably don't have a big enough budget to reach all them anyways, I might as well just saturate the people moving soon. Okay, so under demographics, I'm going to pop this open and I'm going to remove the 18 to 24-year-olds. So that just removed 4 million impressions of people that probably aren't going to be buying a home. And then generally speaking, 35, this kind of range here is what I ideally would go for because 25 to 34, yeah, they are buying homes. Let's just remove that for a second and see. Oh, wow, that cut it in half. It's pretty good, man. I don't know. Let's remove the, oh yeah. Okay. Me personally, I would just target the 35 to 64-year-olds because they have the greatest chance of having money and the ability to move. 25-year-olds, they are moving. I purchased my house when I was like 24 or something. Um, Anyways, there are people that are moving, but I still don't have a big enough budget to reach the 4.9 million impressions per month, right? So why would I fear about missing out on the few on the fringe? Okay, so that's your discretion. You can target everybody if you want. For me, I'm just going to do the 35 to 64. Target expansion. I just want to see if the number changes when I drop that down. No, it didn't. And I would drop that down. So target expansion is basically you giving Google full throttle to be creative and experiment with your budget and reach people that aren't necessarily interested in purchasing. This is them just doing beta testing on you. And if you move this slider over, the more reach, more reach, more reach, more reach, more reach, that basically just means more money. So I'm going to remove that and turn it off. Uh, the CPM, this is how much are you willing to pay per 1,000 impressions? So if your ad is displayed on a screen 1,000 times, how much are you going to pay for that? And I'm going to say, let's try $0.15. All right, so now we see a breakdown over on the right. So it's saying if we're spending $5 a day, at a cost of 15 cents per 1,000 impressions, this means we'll get between 160 to 380,000 impressions per month at a cost of 15 cents per 1,000. There you go. Boom. I mean, you can drop that number up I shouldn't say drop. You could pop that number up higher. Say you wanted to do 40 cents, but it's not necessary. Yeah, 40 cents. I would say between like 7 cents to 15 cents is where most of you are going to be hovering at. So why not just start at a lower number? You might even be able to just do 10. Let's see if I change that to 10. Yeah. In this case, I probably could just get away with doing 10. 140,000 impressions to 330,000 impressions at a cost of like pennies, man. 10 cents per 1,000 impressions, and I'm going to spend $5 a day. And my ads are only appearing to people that are in the age range that I'm wanting, in the city that I'm targeting, and I'm using the filter of Google saying these are the people that are buying a home soon. Okay, so now you have to create your ad. You're going to click this little plus button down at the bottom, and you have to upload the display ad. Probably should have started with this. Um, Google, let me show you. If you Google search popular Google display ad sizes, it will show you the top like 6 or 7 sizes that you're going to want to consider. It's what 250 by 250 is a square, 200 by 200 is a smaller square, 468 by 60 is a banner. So you're going to need these designed before you're able to upload them, obviously. And yeah. If you don't have the ability to design things, there's 2 websites you might want to consider. The first, hold on a second. First one would be Kijiji. Sorry, not Kijiji, Upwork. So Upwork.com, you can just type in here and type in Google banner. Do a little search. You know what? These people are probably actually wanting to do the actual advertising part of it for you. Google banner design. Graphic designer in banner advertising. $10 an hour. He's made over $50,000, and he's obviously really good at what he does. So you could just reach out to Money K. Shout out to Money K on the screen here. I actually don't know who that is, but anyways, Upwork is one place. The other one is Fiverr. All right, find the perfect freelancer. Same thing. Google banner design. Do a little search. There we go. Google banner ads. $20 for a set. It's pretty good, actually. Oh wow. $6. I don't know if you would get all of that for $6, but see all the different sizes in the banners. Like there's banners here, there's squares, there's rectangles, there's towers, there's all these different sizes that you need for your images. And unless you're a graphic designer, which you're not, you're all real estate agents, then just come here, go to Fiverr, and I would actually I would pay the $6, the $13, the $7 here. Like that was a lot of money, 130. Anyways, I would pick like 3 or 4 of these people and pay them all each to do their own project and just see who comes out with the best. I mean, it's going to cost you like $80, $100 up front. But then after that, you got somebody in your pocket that you can reach out to when you need more design work done. There you go. Look at this guy. That looks pretty good. 20 bucks. And I will design 6 sizes for you within 24 hours. Perfect. There you go. So you're not a graphic designer. I'm not telling you to be one. Go to Upwork or Fiverr, and then you would just search Google banner design and then reach out to a couple people. Okay, so let's say I have my design ready. Once you have your designs ready, then you can click on the upload display ad. Then I'm going to choose the file to upload. And then you're going to navigate to them. Now, your designer should have made say 6 different sizes. We're gonna do one at a time. So there's a little trick I do is the file name for each one, I make the size that they are. So if it's a 250 by 250 banner, that's gonna be the name of the banner. That way I just know which ones I've uploaded and which ones they are. So we'll start with this first one, the 160 by 600. I'm gonna click that and hit open. All right, perfect. There's one. Now I can add another. Actually, I wonder if we can add all. Boom. Oh yeah, you can. All right, cool. All right. So there, I just uploaded a bunch of different banner sizes. So now Google is smart enough and the web pages are smart enough to know which banner size should they use, when, and where. And it's going to be based on the amount of room that they have for the ad itself. So you're going to want to make sure that whatever your call to action is, so here I just have a dummy, not me, that's me right there. I have a dummy ad, and the dummy ad has my name on the left with the brokerage info up at the top and your phone number and stuff. Ideally, if I was really running this type of ad, I would probably make me a little bit smaller, and I would have the call to action right across the very top as big as possible, and it would say something like Toronto real estate for sale or search Toronto listings or something like that, because the people don't know me at all, so me doesn't really matter. However, I still do want my branding in on there, but the call to action, I definitely would have bigger and across the very top. And I would focus more on that than your phone number because nobody on earth is going to pick up the phone and call you. So don't hold your breath. So you like save room on nonsense that you don't need on your ad. Just keep it as clean and concise as possible. All right. So I'm going to scroll down. You uploaded your stuff, and then you're going to hit create campaign. Now I am not going to create that campaign because I don't want to actually run this ad. So I'm going to hit the back button and we're going to start all over. All right, cool. So say you got that one campaign up and running. Now it's just targeting people in your city with the ages that you are specifying, and we're targeting the people that are most likely to be buying a home. Logical place, good step for you to start. $5 a day is 150 a month. Good to go. All right. So now, what are the two other options we talked about? The other one was based on the keywords. So let me go to Kijiji, for example, and I'm going to, Kijiji is a local classified website in my area. So I'm in Oshawa. So here in Oshawa. So I'm going to scroll down and they got a bunch of listings here. So I'm going to click on one of them. I don't know which one this is. I just want to show you something. So when I click on this ad, looking at a classified ad, I should say, here on Kijiji. See in this Home Depot Black Friday sale, imagine if you had your banner right there up at the top of every listing on this classified website. It'd be really easy, and we can do it through Google. So we're going to do that next. Um, Now, how would Google know to place your ad on this page instead of Home Depot's? Well, we can do it based on the keywords. So if I scroll down, I'm looking on this page, what is something that is real estate related keyword, but not too broad? Like if I typed in the word real estate as a keyword match, that's way too broad, man. That could be people talking about real estate for rent. Like who knows what they're talking about. But what I do know is the only people that talk about real estate for sale are the real estate agents and the brokerages. So what I can do is find, so here's the brokerage right here, and I could target all of the brokerages names in my city and all of the franchises in my city. Therefore, I don't even have to think about it. And my banners will be on every web page across the internet that has one of my competitors' brokerages names. And there you go. My ad will just magically pop up instead of this car ad in a real estate section. It would be a real estate ad in a real estate section. So let's pop off over to Google. And I'm still going to do the brand awareness. Yeah, I mean, you could do clicks, but banner ads really aren't a clicking campaign, so we're going to stick with the brand awareness. You're going to choose display network, and you're going to not drive them to your homepage. Remember, you're going to drive them to your listing page or your map search or whatever you got. Okay, I'm going to hit continue. So this one, the campaign name, we're going to change it and we'll call it keywords. I'll call it display keywords. Display ad keywords. Now I'm not going to target all of the world. I'm going to target just another location, and I'll stick with Toronto. Okay, so we're back to the 1.5 billion impressions per month. Okay, scrolling down, we got the English. I'm going to leave that just like before. Bidding, you're going to leave it as impressions. The budget is going to be the $5 a day. Again, leave the ad rotation, leave that. The schedule, you can change it to be 9 to 5 or whenever you work, or just leave it all open. I'm going to leave it open. Start end date, I'm going to have no end date because these ads are just make perfect sense for me. So I'm going to let them run forever as long as I'm in the business. And remember, you can always come back and change these ads like seasonally every quarter or every year to freshen them up. But other than that, it's set it and forget it. Frequency capping, I want to leave that as being open. And then the ad group name, rename it the same thing. So what we called this one display ad keywords. So I'm going to change this to the same thing, display ad keywords. Okay, so what you're going to want to do, everyone, is you're going to want to click on the, I'll do this one here. What are they actively researching? And then down at the bottom, it says new custom intent audience. I want to click on that. And I'll name it the same name we created for the campaign and the ad group name. And then we can put the related keywords and or URLs. So instead of doing real estate, what I would rather you do is open up a Word document. So here I'll open up a Word document. I'll create a new document. And I would create, so ABC Realty Inc. Create a top 10 list or top 20 list of all of the brokerages in your area. Like who's got the lion's share of everything that's happening. So write down the names of them and don't be all lazy and be like ABC. Go like find out how are they labeled um, on the local real estate website on Craigslist Kijiji. So if I go to Kijiji, for example, and I go to that listing and I can see this one is Royal LePage Real Estate Services Success Team. So I would probably copy, I don't know if it would be Success Team, if it would be this, because I don't know this brokerage team setup. Maybe the Success Team is just that one part of the team. So anyways, I would go for Royal LePage Real Estate Services. And then there's a whole bunch of other Royal LePages in your area. You can even do the address of all of the brokerages in your that you're competing with as well. But mostly, I would go for the name specifically for each brokerage. List them all, including your own, because you got other agents that you're competing with in your own office. And so I would write out brokerage 1, brokerage 2, brokerage 3, brokerage 4, brokerage 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Like go through that exercise. Okay, so that's step 1. Step number 2 is to list off all of the franchises. So I'm not going to list off, I'm not going to say franchises because we have a lot of different franchises on this call, but you know who they are. They're the franchise, the big real estate franchises in the area. So, I mean, think of one. Who's the first one you think of? Okay, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5, number 6, number 7, number 8, number 9, number 10. So think of all of the top franchises in your area. And if you want to get like really granular, I mean, you could do the top 50 agents. So let's say Danny Wood. Number one agent. Everybody's the number one agent, right? So then agent two, agent three, agent four, agent five, agent six. You can even do like the agent's cell phone numbers because they put their cell phone number on the ads. So their phone number is going to be attached to all of the pages that they're marketing on. So you could do it based on cell phone as well. So it's a lot of homework at this step. The keyword step is a ton of homework. I mean, it's going to take you an hour, maybe 2 hours to accumulate all of this and to sit down and to actually do it. But once you have all of that typed up on a Word document, nice and clean, you can just select it all, copy it. So here I'll just do right click, copy, all right, copied it, and then I'm going to go back to my Google Ads, and then you can paste it right in here. So Control V. All right, so here I pasted out all of my fake keywords. Remember, the first one is all the local brokerages with the actual full name of them. Then the next one is the franchises, full name of all the franchises, and then you could do all of the top agents, and then you could do all of the cell phones. So there you go. Cell phone is kind of sketchy. I would have to experiment with that one. I'd say save that for when you're really ambitious later on in life. So do the first three. They're the most logical. All right? And hit create. Now I don't want to create this. I'm going to cancel that. I'm just going to create a basic one and I'll call it real estate for sale. All right, and I'm going to hit create on that. The reason why I wanted to do the real estate for sale is because when you create your audience with all those keywords, it's going to give you a number up here. So just the word real estate for sale, I think real estate was on there too. I didn't delete it for some reason. Anyways, between the word real estate and real estate for sale, in Toronto alone, there's 13 million impressions per month that we have a pool that we can go swimming in and get our ads to display to just those people. Okay, so I'm going to scroll down and I'm going to say definitely not the 18-year-olds. I'm going to remove that and that. Got it down to 6.4 million. Let me remove unknown. I just want to see what happens. Oh, yeah, that's pretty good. Okay, I'm gonna leave unknown removed because that brought us down to 5.8 million, which I'm not going to have the budget for. Alrighty, so let me targeted expansion, turn that off, and then the cost per 1,000 impressions, I'm going to do $0, 0.15 cents, and let's just check it out. 7,000 to 21,000 impressions per month. So the in market gave us, for the same budget of $100 a month, gave us way more impressions, and it was probably way more targeted. But I mean, for another 150 a month, you could see how your ad only displaying on pages in Toronto when people are looking at other real estate agent stuff, it's a good idea to have your banner there as well. Let me pop that down and just see 10. Didn't really change anything. I'm going to just do a higher number to see something. So I'll do 50. Whoa, not $50. Jeez. 50 cents. So that brought us to 25,000. Yeah. Okay. No, it doesn't make sense to pay that much. So it does seem pretty competitive. So maybe this one I wouldn't do at the 10 cents. I would do it at like the 15. Let's just see 20. Yeah. There you go. All right. So you can play with the numbers based on whatever city you're in. And anyways, for $150 a month, this is really targeted and set it and forget it type of approach. You're going to want to hit the plus add button, upload display ads, scroll down, choose the files to upload, and then I will select all of the images again. One of them is a really big file. Okay, that's fine. all the other ones loaded, so it's good for me. And then hit create campaign. Now I'm not going to hit create campaign because I don't want to run that, so I'm going to hit cancel. Okay, now the third and final one that we're going to do is based on me saying I only not targeting keywords. I want to target specific pages. So here I went to the New York Times, and I went to the real estate section of the New York Times, and then I clicked on one of the listings. It happens to be this nice looking house right here for a lot of money. And anyways, look at the ad up at the top. I don't know who BCIT is, whatever, Complex World, Complex Advertising. Wouldn't it be nice if your banner was at the top of this page? Well, what we can do is grab the URL. Oh, hold on. Let me go back. There you go. You can grab the URL and it would be this right here. I'm looking, it's kind of nerdy what I'm doing here, but up at the top it says newyorktimes.com/section/real estate. I'm not worried about all of this code because all of that can change over time, but the real estate section, like that URL is going to stay the same for a really long time. So I could just copy that URL and then my banner ads would be on this section of the website. On top of the people also have to be in my city, right? So obviously if I was doing Toronto real estate, I wouldn't target New York Times. I just want to show you, find whatever local newspaper is in your city. So if I was, for example, say I'm in Oshawa, Ontario, the durhamregion.com is a big website. And if I go there, click on real estate. So durhamregion.com/durhamregion real estate. What a shitty website. Wow. This is apparently a really big website in Durham region for real estate. So if I wanted to advertise on this hunk of junk, I could. I could grab the URL of that specific website, and then my ads would be in the sponsored section of these guys. Same thing with home finders, all these other websites. So what you want to do, again, open up a Word document. So I'll open up a Word document, and then I would say newspaper. 1, 2, 3, 4. Magazines. 1, 2, 3, 4. Classifieds. 1, 2, 3. So this is a little bit of homework for you where I would say, okay, what are the top 4 newspapers in your area? So if I was Oshawa, Durham region, like there's a couple of newspapers, right? So I would want to write out newspaper 1, newspaper 2, newspaper 3. Okay. Then you want to do the magazines. So you know those free magazines that they have in front of variety stores and wherever else on the streets in those boxes? There's a ton of different real estate magazines. What are the ones that are delivered in your area? Write them out. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Now, classified websites. What are the classified websites that are popular in your area? Is it Craigslist? In Canada, is it Kijiji? Or is it some other wonky name that I've never heard of? Write out whatever the classified websites are in your area. And then now that you have them written out, you have to get the URL for the real estate section of each one. So say I was here at the New York Times. I'm like, okay, New York Times, copy the URL, go back to my Word document, and then paste. And you're going to want to do that for all of the 3 newspapers in your area or whatever it is. And then when I get to the classifieds, so if I go to Kijiji, I'm going to go to the Oshawa area that I serve and then find the real estate section and then real estate for sale. All right. And now I'm going to copy that URL. Go back to my Word document, paste it in here, paste. Okay, so let me do one more just for the fun of it. I'll do Craigslist. I don't even know if Craigslist has Google Ads, but let's check it. Craigslist, term, region, housing, for sale. Copy that link. I don't see any banner ads on this page, so let me just click on one of the listings. Ah, there you go. Okay, well, Craigslist wouldn't work because there's no banner ads on it. Anyways, if there was, which there isn't, you're going to go to whatever the classified section of your area is, go to the real estate section, copy that URL, and then you're going to paste it so that you have a list of all of the classified websites, all of the magazines, and all of the newspapers. Once you have this little bit of homework done, then we can create a list. Go back to Google. New campaign. Brand and awareness. Display. www.dan.com/listings or whatever your website is to the listing section. Hit continue. Okay, I'm going to target Toronto again. I want to change the name of this one. This one I would call banner ad placements. I'm going to copy that because I know I already need to paste it later on. So I got banner ad placements as the name of it. I'm going to leave English as English. Leave that. $5 a day. Leave as optimized. Leave the time unless you want to change it. Let it run forever or set an end date. Frequency you leave again. I kind of glossed over this one. You probably should have considered this. You can remove your ad from appearing on any page that has this type of information. Now, you don't control the pages and what other people are reading in their content. So it's not really your fault if somebody else is reading about it. But if you wanted to be ultra safe, you could remove any page that has this information on it, then your ads wouldn't appear. So it's probably a good safety net that you should exclude and check out of. Okay, so you're going to click on the Browse tab, and then you're going to click on the what are they actively researching or planning, and then we're going to do the new custom intent, and this is where you paste all of the URLs. So in that Word document that I had you type up, you're going to have a list of all of the newspaper sections, a list of all the magazines, and a list of all the classified real estate sections for your area. You're going to copy all of those URLs right in here, and then you're going to want to name the audience. I would name it banner ad placements. Okay. Now I don't have any keywords here of the URLs, but if you did, you'd have like 10 or 20 of them going down this page, and you'll hit the create button. Now I'm not going to hit the create button. I'm going to cancel that, but this is where you do it. You type out the page of all the URLs that you want your ads to appear on. Cancel. Okay. So then you scroll down, and we're going to do the demographics, and I'm going to remove the 18-year-olds, the 25, the 65 plus, and the unknown. And then I'm going to do my budgeting. Now, because I removed all of the URLs, these numbers aren't going to make any sense, so I'm just going to do the 0.15 again. But you're going to want to play with the numbers to whatever makes sense to you. I mean, you're not going to go over your $5 budget, so just play. But if you can get 1,000 impressions for 15 cents versus 1,000 impressions for 25 cents. Like, why wouldn't you? So try and get that number as low as possible with a number on the right that you're happy with. All right, click the new ad button, upload, choose my file, open. There you go. Then I would hit the create campaign button. So that's a walkthrough as quickly as I could think of doing it for you. Anyways, hopefully it made sense for you. Every other week, we do a live coaching call where I share with you ideas on how you can leverage marketing and technology for the real estate industry. I appreciate you guys being with me. We post these calls on the Thursdays, and then the recordings get put up on the Mondays following it. And if you want access to any of this information, just reach out to me and I'll get you hooked up. Also, if you love the idea of this, but you're like, well, that's great, but I don't have the time or the want to do it for myself, can you do it for me? The answer is yes. So just reach out on that end as well. Okay, everyone. Thanks. I'll talk to you later.
Hey, if you want to close more real estate transactions, get more buyer leads, and get more seller leads, click this button right here. It'll take you to our real estate group coaching page. Also, if you like this video and want more, you can subscribe by pressing this, or you can check out some of my past videos here. Enjoy!